and people, you know that if you're like putting the kids to bed right now, you can watch it later because it's live right now, but then you can just watch it.
And we post them to YouTube after, which is, I think people don't even know we have a YouTube channel. I think we didn't know we had a YouTube channel for like 2 years. I was like, what's this YouTube everybody's talking about?
This brand new medium that I don't know anything about.
That the kids are doing.
Hallie Ellis is here, and so is Jen Murphy from Illinois.
So is my husband Colin. He's always number 1 or number 2 into the thing. I think that's his favorite thing to do is to try to get in here first.
That's, you know what? My husband asked me, he goes, should I feel bad that I don't have like one of those top fan little insignia things? I'm like, yes, you probably.
Yes, you should feel bad. And you should feel bad that you haven't read our book either, because I know my husband still hasn't.
Mine did.
Oh, Colin's.
Colin, you're in trouble.
He did not. You are lying. If his life depended on it, he couldn't. We could.
Mine was on a flight, and the Wi-Fi didn't work, and he finally read it.
Your father-in-law read it, not my husband.
I know. Oh, San Jose is here.
Hey everybody, welcome.
Iowa.
Self-Care Mondays.
I'm not taking care of myself too well.
I'm having a hard time with all of this shit. Ups and downs, smiles, frowns.
Let me tell you what I am doing is I reorganized my kitchen because I was so bored, and I didn't organize it because my kitchen makes everybody super mad because it doesn't make sense, and it's mostly because I'm so short. It needs to be where I can get to it.
It's a short person's kitchen for sure.
She comes over, she's like, "What do you have cups in your drawer for?"
You have to squat to get to everything, and you just stand there. But I have to do a full squat, and I'm like, God, your kids' cups are so low.
I know. We put both up here. And I'm like, I'd have to get a library ladder around the whole kitchen.
Yeah. Or you ask me to get you something from your cabinet, but I feel
like point while you're mid conversation. But you know what I did is I put all of the like little appliances that you never use in the like Lazy Susan thing in the corner, you know?
Yeah.
And now I've been using like my panini press, my air fryer, my deep fat fryer, and not having a lot of diet food.
Let me dazzle you with this really boring story. Get ready, everybody. This would be the time to pour yourself a drink because it's that dazzling. So everybody's been bragging about their Instapots, and I've been pretending that I use an Instapot, but I've really been lying. No. I owned one, and I was like, what the hell am I doing wrong? And I sat and stared at that sucker like I was doing a long SAT question. I was like, God, I don't get it. I'm following all the directions and this chicken won't fit. Is there a secret passageway underneath this Instapot? And then I read it and I read the side of my Instapot and it's an Instapot mini.
Oh.
I had this chicken standing outside, like the legs were outside in like a very pornographic display. And I was like, well, that's not working.
Instapot's a very exclusive nightclub. I can't get it.
I'm like, I get that gets you into most doors, but this is supposed to get you cooked in a mini pot. And
God. But okay, so every time I come to your house, though, there's something delicious smelling, slow cooking, like some kind of spicy chicken, something in the crock pot.
I enjoy the crock pot. I'm a slow cooking mamma jamma because I think you can have like 3 going at one time, and you kind of get your week. Although they kind of all start to feel the same because you're like, there is a level of like, bleh. But that's just because if I have to eat my own cooking anymore, I'm just going to eat a drape and call it even.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like there's a lot of room for error in a crock pot, but there's not like a lot of room for variety because everything kind of very similar. But I do have really good news.
What?
Did your dad tell you? I finally got the real recipe for Italian beef. And I made it, and it's awesome. And I was telling you guys entirely wrong.
We got to post that recipe because, like, first of all, I don't have to answer my dad's 50 texts that come once every month because he forgets the recipe and or doesn't do it right. That's why I think he must be screwing it up and then feels like he's doing it wrong.
Well, he was like, what's it's not a bottle of Worcestershire sauce. You don't cook it for 24 hours. You do use all the juice in the peppercini jar.
You sure did it absolutely 100% wrong.
2 pounds of beef. It's 2 pounds of stewed beef. You do it for like 3 or 4 hours. I was so wrong. And but it was my husband got the recipe from her, and I was like, none of this sounds right. But
I know we're like, I'm dumping it in. I'm like, an entire bottle of Worcestershire gin, and you're like, yeah, that's what she said. And I'm like, okay, this feels like it's gonna taste like hell.
I think he doesn't speak recipe though, because like my grandma would say, like, how do you make your cinnamon rolls? And she's like, we put in the flour. Which all of the flour. It means like 2 cups of flour. But a husband, he doesn't know that because he doesn't cook. So you have to like decipher what somebody's saying. They're not saying the bottle of Worcestershire sauce.
No.
Right?
But and I think my husband's idea of cooking is like, well, if you're supposed to add a little bit, why don't you double it and just make more? Or just add more flavor by doubling whatever the flavor is. Meanwhile, you only have 1 pound of meat. So you're like salt licking through the whole thing. Like,
that's what I like about Crock Pot.
Sarah Mowat says, cheers to military wives. Let's give a big
cheers to military moms.
And cheers. You know what we do every time we start one of these bad boys? We give a cheers to all of our essential workers, all of our caregivers, all of the people deliveries, food deliveries, groceries, like all that stuff is, and I don't know about y'all, but I mean, we're staying home, we're following the rules because that's the right thing to do, but it's not the easy thing to do.
I am going stir crazy as my husband was saying it, he's like, do you feel like we're kind of like regressing in life? Like we're all teenagers because we all like want to get in the car and just go someplace. And we just want to hang out with friends, and we don't think it's really unfair. And we're all pouting and like,
like I'm just having constant temper tantrums and walking out.
Like,
I don't even want to be a part of this family anymore.
And like, slamming the door and just getting in my phone. Like,
I wish I would have been like on my rotary, like hot calling someone. Hey, let's go cruise. It'll take 7 minutes round trip. Leanna Trail says, what do you make for dinner every night for picky eaters? Nothing that picky eaters would eat.
I just rotate dry pasta, spaghetti with like very watered down red sauce, nuggets, fried eggs. I think that's it. I honestly think that's all.
Jenny Lynn says she's a single mom of 3 and she needs suggestions on how not to go crazy and that she's feeling depressed.
Oh, girl.
Look, I'm not a single mom and I get it. And I have a husband who wants a lot of recognition. Greg Parker, you've done a lot for our relationship. But I got onto my music like apps or whatever. I have them all. Like I have like Pandora and all of them. But on Amazon, I do either Motown or I do Paula Abdul Radio. And it gets me out of my funk because I'm like, you all don't know what the peak of the 90s were like. And then it's all better.
I just want to like go bright side and tell you one thing that you're not dealing with is somebody explaining to you that you've done everything wrong your entire life, only they haven't been around you 24/7 to know that you've been closing the fridge incorrectly and like your route around the kitchen is always in their way. Like
how ever did you exist before?
I have no idea. You know what we had a conversation about?
What?
Do you microwave tater tots before you put them in the air fryer? And by conversation, I mean like almost a divorce.
That makes me feel better.
Because I don't. I just put them in the air fryer.
Yeah. We have a lot of those. We have a lot of like tense conversations. And I'm like, that is not how you calculate the surface area of anything. And you need to use visual aids. Okay. So yeah.
For an intelligent conversation, ours are like, did you use all the ice? You didn't make more? Like,
no, we have one too. It's delightful. It's a delightful shifting of and then there's times where I'm like, we just got in the biggest fight ever in 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm really still mad at you, but I gotta talk about this thing and I don't have anybody else.
I know.
So I'm gonna go back to being mad at you after I talk to you about this thing, and then I'm gonna full circle back.
Maybe the good thing, Jenny Lynn, is too that like you're forced to spend all this time with your kids. If you're a single mom, I know you're probably like burning the candle on both ends. So, but yeah, I'd be going bonkers too.
I mean, it's okay to feel crazy.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's do our feel goods. Let's do our feel goods.
Okay.
Because these are some good ones.
Yeah.
First of all, we should I say who our birthday it is today? Miss Carol Barnett's birthday is today.
It is. Oh.
And I have so many fond memories of growing up being very, very young. And my dad and I would watch reruns of this, and like you get Dewey laughing and like the world feels all right. And he would just, with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman and all those guys, I wanted to be a part of that so bad. I was like, oh, I just want to be in there. The thing, I just loved it. So I'm such a huge fan.
The best time too.
Yeah.
I keep trying to not talk over you because people keep saying you guys talk over each other. And I want to say, like, this is what we are like without good editing, is we always are talking at the same time, but we understand it. Because we're used to it.
I know. I'm like, I should have a paddle that's like.
My turn. I know.
Jen's turn.
By all means, go ahead, Kristen. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go. You go, Jen.
Oh, you go. Well, you go.
No,
okay. This is Kristen and my squad goals right here. This is friends. We found this video on Facebook, right?
Yeah, TikTok. I think
these wizards do. That's amazing.
That is 100% something we are going to do when this quarantine is over. I do not want to go to the gym. I do not want to go on a luxury vacation. I just don't want to be here, and I want to try that drink with you.
I've watched it a number of times, and the stunning thing for me is I think they have some pretty strong abs, so that might be like like, I don't know. Mine would just be like, scush.
I'd be able to do it one time. I'd be able to like suck it up and use all my force for one time. But after that, like, you're going to get covered in wine. There's no question.
I've been laughing so hard and unable to focus, but I think it's really impressive.
We're going to do it, you guys. Mark my words. We're going to do it. And if it takes us 25 bottles of wine, that is the price we are willing to pay. By the way, it's also Lizzo's birthday. What up, girl? Ooh. And Sondheim's birthday, which is why Meryl Streep and a bunch of like super talented ladies are in their robes singing, which is ridiculously awesome.
That's amazing. And you know what? It's I just sent him a text. It's Brent's birthday. Our friend Brent.
Brent Tubbs?
No, Brent Abens.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday.
Yep. I sent him a happy birthday. Mm-hmm. All right. You ready? You ready? Okay. Ready?
Watch this to the end, you guys.
Okay, because you're going to be like, well, that's really sweet. What am I watching?
Everything.
What is that?
I don't know. What just happened? Oh, I know what it is. Okay. Best times you're mine, anomaly, and I choose you. In 100 lifetimes, I choose you. In 100 worlds, I find you. And I'd say I do.
Let's not bury the lead. Did you see that bathroom? That's like, I don't think I'd have a hard time drinking water out of that bathroom. That's a really nice bathroom.
It's a nice bathroom. And it's so funny because my husband showed it to me and I was like, yeah, that's sweet. I get it. Our kids don't do that. They don't behave like that. And then I saw the end and I was like, Yes, they do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I hit the wrong thing. I hit the wrong thing. That's what was talking was the next video.
Oh,
Somebody knows what it is because they heard it.
do it anyway. Do I know what it is? Do it anyway.
Okay, I got it. It's hold on, let me go back. It's Josh Gad.
Oh, yeah. This is.
Can I show it now?
Yeah, just a little bit of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything. Okay, I'll talk. In third grade, I cheated on my history exam. In fourth grade, I stole my mom Hex's toothpaste, and I glued it on my face to play Lotus in my Hebrew school play. In fifth grade, I knocked my sister down the stairs, and I blamed it on the dog.
That's so awesome.
That's the worst thing I ever done. I stole pot, I think puking.
Okay.
Okay.
If you don't know Josh Gad, and it's so funny because we're showing the kids like different movies from when we were growing up, and we just showed them Goonies, and it's one of my favorite all-time movies. And then the kids were like, well, what are they doing now? What are those kids doing now? And I'm like, they're all adults and I don't know what they're doing. And Josh Gad just did this thing for his YouTube where he brought them all together and they do this big interview. And once again, I wanted to be a part of it. No invite, thanks. But they all talk about their lives. Some of them are cuckoo. Some of them are super rad and normal. But it was a really neat thing to see all of them back together. Sean is still as cute as ever.
Both of us love Goonies so much, and we will like quote it all the time. Like that's a movie that you and I both love to pieces. Yeah. And so Chunk's mom used to be a teacher at my kid's elementary school, and she's such a badass. She still comes back for like fundraisers and stuff like that.
I love that you called him Chunk and you didn't even learn his actual name.
I know that was his name, but she did make it a point to say that he's an attorney. He's evidently a very successful attorney. I'd be bragging about it too if I were her.
I know, and I just think that, like, hey man, you got to be in one of the greatest movies of all time when you were a little round around the edges, and that's okay. And now you leaned out. You're getting the best of both worlds, buddy. And you did a reunion show with Josh Gad, so Cry Me a River. Everybody's fine.
It's amazing. Such a good time. So you just let the kids watch it?
I did, and I'm sure there's going to be. Listen, there's a lot.
17 times.
I've what?
Oh, it does. I was going to
hit 17 times in the first like 15 minutes, and my kids think that's the greatest thing ever. And listen, pre-quarantine, I would have been like, maybe we need to evaluate if this is okay for them to watch. Now I'm like, is Scarface? That's probably a no, right?
I guarantee I watched that movie when I was their age. I guarantee it. I remember seeing Exorcist when I was like 5 or 6, and that's just bad parenting.
I think my parents left me in the theater by myself with Gremlins. I have a very distinct memory.
I can't watch Gremlins.
I know. I believe, and my mom will push back on this, but let's just ignore her. I believe because we were in our little town theater and my brother got scared. And so she had to take him home and she left me there. And I think I was like 10 watching Gremlins. But everybody in the town knows everybody. So I'm sure she was just like, can you watch Kristen? She's over here shitting her pants, but I'll be back in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, not a big deal. I remember too. This is so like kids, when it's like seared into your brain, like what you're supposed to see and not see. I remember seeing Splash in the movie theater and she's topless for like half of it, right? And I remember being, these guys really blew it. Absolutely seeing boobies. That's
how I felt about Tarzan. Oh man, I saw Tarzan when I was really young. My mom was in bed and we had free HBO for 3 days. And so I went out and watched HBO late night and all I saw was like Tarzan emerging from the water. And then he felt her boobs. And I was like, that seems awesome. And
I would like to watch that now.
I was like, I made sweet love to many of my stuffed animals after that.
Okay. All right. Okay. I didn't know you were going there, but okay.
What are we gonna do? It's, you know what? We're all dealing with different things, and my parents had to deal with the quarantine when I was, I don't know, 6. There would have been some different issues.
Yeah, we were supposed to get that fifth, sixth grade speech where they separate the boys from the girls, and that's been canceled, obviously. I don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation, so we're going to get HBO Go.
Here, watch Game of Thrones. It's everything you need to know. Game of Thrones, everything you need to know. Honestly, we do need to have, this is not the conversation to have this evening, but we do need to have the old conversation with our son. I'm just not prepared right now, and where he's not in school, I'm like, well, I get to buy a little time on that, right? Like fully.
Yeah, he's not going to be around people, so it's.
I'm like, no fifth graders are going to ruin it for him right now. So I'm just trying to extend the time on which I have to start talking about like the literal. We're very open as a family, but like some of the like real brass tack stuff, which I need to look up first, we're going to have to talk about.
I know. I just want to like check and make sure that it's how I remember it being.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch Tarzan again. I'm going to watch Tarzan and remind myself.
That sounds great, actually. Like, which Tarzan is it? Because I like a little period piece.
I mean, let me tell you, it is filthy. And I from what my very warped brain remembers, but it's in the same area. What is that Kevin Costner movie I just watched that's filthy? Hot in this. What is it? Oh my God, Jen, on accident, but it was really long. I watched a terrible Kevin Costner movie called No Way Out with Sean Young. I mean, they love and Sean Connery's not in it. Gene Hackman's in it.
Wait a second.
Something. The 80s loved showing boobs gratuitously. Like if there was any reason to have a gym scene where there's a locker room, even if it's a courtroom drama, they're gonna find a reason to have boobs out while they're talking.
Embarrassing, isn't it? Like every time we watch something like that, I'm like, obviously men were in charge of the programming. It could be like it could be like a C-SPAN, and it's like, oh, the Republicans are taking off their top.
Yeah. Like if Bridges of Madison County was made in the early 80s, like literally Clint Eastwood would have never worn a shirt, and Meryl Streep would have been in like a tube top.
The Pointer Sisters would have done the soundtrack. There would have been some sort of a Camaro involved.
All of that, though, makes for a really good movie. Let's be honest. Because here's what I love about the 80s. Sean Young, if you guys know the movie I'm talking about, she's like on a bed, like wearing like a satin gown and like those heels with like the fur on them, you know, the like, as though she's just ready in the middle of the day doing nothing. I would like to just show you what I wear.
That's what's wrong with our husbands, not our husbands, but just like this population of men who are like, this isn't that chick from Weird Science. This woman has chin hairs and farts a lot.
Yeah, because we're real women. The 80s was so hard on women. You had to be like super, super skinny, wear super high heels, have ridiculous, like my husband right now is acting like he's looking off into space as though he's watching a dirty movie. That's what he's doing. That's his favorite. I mean, what do you want?
I have broad shoulders for a woman. I don't need to.
That is absolutely untrue. That is absolutely untrue.
My grandma said she thought I had broad shoulders, and that sticks with you. Like my husband's mom, who is very, very sweet, said he had a very long forehead and should never get short bangs. And he today brings it up. You know, that kind of stuff sticks with you. Broad shoulders.
I don't know. People told me I was obnoxious for a lot of years, and I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I am a delicate flower.
I don't buy it.
I'm gonna go say hi to some people. Heather. Hi, Heather, Cheryl, Jeanne, Stephanie, Jenny, Aaron, these are going so fast. Linz, ooh, Linz, Linz, Stephanie, Kimberly, Kelly, Carolyn. I love Southern names where there's like a name attached to the first name and you still have a middle name.
Yep.
Kathy,
yep.
Dan, Ann.
So Kelly said, my grandma said to me once, I think you're going to be a big woman. Grandma. Grandma.
Shut up, Grandma. Where do you think I get the genetics?
Yeah. Are you saying that so you're hoping I'll be bigger than you, Grandma? Like, what are you?
Why would you say stuff like that? They say shit and it like gets in our head. And then even the positive stuff, because I remember they used to say like, Kristen, you have a strong nose. A strong nose.
You said that. Someone in your family?
Yeah, Colin's grandma used to say, why do you eat so much? Good question. Good.
Yeah, I'm sure he was in there making the food and dishing it out too, right?
Just listen, he was the kid, not unlike our favorite movie, Goonies, a little round until sports and athletics kicked in and he trimmed up, but he did enjoy his grandma's cooking and she shamed him for it.
Oh, yeah. Somebody, sorry, I keep missing the name. I'm a very slow reader, evidently, but she said that her mother-in-law said she had really good birthing hips.
That's never going to make you feel good about yourself.
No, when I was traveling with my dad one time and I was fully an adult, I was like 30 and we shared a hotel room. Like he had one bed, I had the other bed. And I was like, hey, are you going to use that, those extra pillows? He was like, what do you want them for? And I go, because I like to have one on my knees and one on my ankles. He goes, why do you do that? Is it because your hips are so wide? And the worst part is he just wanted to know. He wasn't even being like hurtful. He was just like, hips. I'm a scientist. Let's just do this math. Is that what the problem is?
Let me build a bridge. Let me build an engineering bridge for you, even though this is not very. Listen, I told you, I actually talked about this in the book, and this is God's honest truth. I went through middle school, and it was a tough time. I was so ADD. I had a couple bullies, but mostly it was just a very hard time for me growing up. And I was literally like 3'2", and everybody else was having their periods and growing into like giraffes. And I was like, what the actual F? So I went outside with my dad and I was bawling, like crying, like, I just want to go to a dance. And my dad goes, well, shit, Kristen, every dog has their day. And I was like, you're like a dog. And then my mom's like screaming from the house, like, Jesus Christ, Dwayne.
Wrong choice of words. Right intent. Very wrong words.
Do it, you fucked it up. My dad was like panicking and I was doing that ugly cry where I was like,
yeah. They just don't know. It's like, or they get to a certain age and they just don't care. They just become like too direct, because there was a Thanksgiving, like when my son was first born, where like everybody had gotten a chance to eat, but I was like breastfeeding. I was like, everything was out of control. And Thanksgiving is my favorite meal ever. Mm-hmm. And I like it was shoveling it in before I could have dessert. And my dad said, he goes, wow, you're really shoveling it in.
Oh, shit.
Again, just an observation. He didn't mean anything mean by it. He was just like, you can really pound food, you fatso. Basically what he was saying.
My mom sent me links after I had Finn and I had gained so much weight, and I did not drop any weight until after I breastfed, until after I was done. So I went another 9 months just like and my skin felt tight and my shoes felt, everything hurt. And so I was breastfeeding, and she goes, you know, I found these handy little videos on YouTube where you can get 2,500 steps by just walking in circles in your kitchen. And I go, thanks so much for that wonderfully supportive idea. While
I also
head into
I live in Los Angeles, so I have a postage size stamp kitchen.
Yeah. I live in a condo, Terry. It's going to take me like 14 hours to get 2,500 steps, but thank you.
You made me feel bad in every direction. It's incredible.
You're not even going to believe when I read this. Jean R. said, I was holding my grandma's hand on her deathbed, and she said, you have very dry skin.
I knew.
My husband is crying. Colin is
everything and say everything I've always wanted to say.
I mean, who is that woman? I love her. I mean, she's literally walking to the light and she's like, I've got one more note. I've got one more quick note.
Oh, I don't know if I should tell this story. It's not my story, but very similar. When my husband's mom was really sick and he would go visit her, he would sing her songs, like hymns that she loved. And you've heard him karaoke, Kristen, right?
Yeah, it's
him karaoke. And it's not great. And he said,
but it's not there. It's real pitchy.
When she was very ill, she said to him, you're a little off key. And he was like, I was trying so hard.
I just love the idea that like she's like holding his hand. She's like, oh, your hands are a little a little dry. Hun, can we get the
Yeah. You guys do better. I know it's a hard moment.
It's not funny. Yeah, it's funny because it's terrible. Oh my gosh, you guys. There's so many comments coming in right now that we all, what is it called? Schadenfreude, where you feel better when people have had miserable experiences that are the same as yours.
Yeah.
You all need to be reading these comments because I'm going to cry.
I know. You guys keep putting them on there because we can read them. When this is all over, then we get to go through and read them and stuff. So
and we do, every single one. Oh my God. Oh my God. People make terrible comments about our bodies. God bless America.
Oh, well, so Jenny and Mandy's father-in-law, one of them, I was at one of their baby showers. It's two friends of mine that I'm married to brothers. And Jean said at one of their baby showers, no date again, Smedley. A room full of people. It was like 30, like a couple shower. And I was like,
I told you, I told you when I finally got engaged, my mom acted like she had just caught a flight that was about to leave. She was like, you're engaged? Okay, awesome. Wait, to a man? Awesome. Okay, cool. And she's like, okay. It didn't matter if it was a woman. She just wanted me hitched regardless. She's like, we can figure out how to get you a baby. God,
oh my God, this is so good. Teresa Kaufman Wilhelms, my mom-in-law compared me to a water buffalo, but she rested.
She rest in peace.
What are we doing, old people? Let's not do this.
Let's not do that. We're gonna be better. We're gonna be better. Right?
Yeah, we're just gonna save it all till then.
I'm gonna have different notes, but it's not gonna be about, not going to use birthing help. No. What do you mean? Well, this is self-care, Colin. You don't understand women. He's like, you guys going to talk about self-care? I'm like, don't you get it?
Self-care.
This is self-care. We talk about the shit that's been said to us. We outdo each other. We feel better, and it's all glorious.
That's what you do when you get your ass kicked in every direction. You laugh about it.
You gotta laugh about it because you probably were just crying about it 40 seconds before.
Yeah.
Man, it is time for us to wrap it up, mostly because I do have to make sure my kids are not watching violent television.
I know. I need to go download Tarzan, so not a big deal.
Okay, there's a couple out there, and I'm not going to say the Disney one didn't kind of like stir up some feelings for me, but it's
like ripped to shreds.
An old version of Tarzan that, I mean, we're going back into, I'm going to date myself here, but I don't know. I'll have to find the title of it and then I'll share it, but I'm sure god awful.
It wasn't like Legend of Greystoke, was it? Was it the I think that was an 80s one, so that might have been.
All I know is that I saw a glimpse of it in recent days, and I can fully tell the guy's wearing a wig, and it ruined it for me. I was like, my imagination is better. Because, I've been on that Tarzan train for a long time, which is Noah. He's like the modern Tarzan.
Basically, yeah. Oh, hey, why don't they make that movie?
They did, Jen. It was a big flop with the guy. Oh, he's like, what is his name? Not Stellan Skarsgård. Yeah, baby, Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård is not.
That's not the right. Yeah, he is. That's a different person. Skarsgård. Help me out. Anyway, it wasn't great.
Okay. Well,
I'll put the link in and everybody can watch and we can talk about our.
I've heard so much about this film and I've got the time to watch it now, so I think I will. Yeah. That, and I'll probably watch Goonies.
Yes.
First and then see.
Goonies makes me just feel like everything's okay. Like it's so in it, like literally hits all my good feels in the deep part. We need that right now. I feel like watching anything heavy is not what I need right now. Not that there's not good stuff out there, but I don't want to watch that.
No, I can't. My husband was like, okay, are you finally done watching murder shows before you go to bed? And I was like, I think I am. I think I'm cured. I think I don't ever need to watch.
Yeah, I just don't need anything else to make me feel bad. I need to like laugh at really dumb stuff. So hopefully this will serve it up.
Yeah. Okay. So Wednesday we'll be back here though, and we're going to celebrate a little bit on Wednesday.
We've got a little celebration planned, but we're not going to tell you what for. But you got to join us because it's a big one.
It's big for us. Moms.
We love you. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll work on over talking, even though that's just something that we are very talented at. We love all of you. We're thinking about you. Keep your chins up, your boobs up. Or not. And cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Jenny.
Good night, ladies.
Good night. Bye, everybody.